I know you're a big Elizabeth Warren supporter, and I wanted to actually just quickly get your thoughts on her vision for Medicare-For-All. She's been on the record multiple times saying that she supports Medicare-For-All. There were a few moments where it appeared like she was waffling on it, and it is making some progressives feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
so I think where do you stand on that?
I think we have a similar mindset where I'm a problem solver and I'm all about solutions. So sometimes before I personally speak with friends and family about things, I want to make sure that I have it buttoned up. You have two types of people: those who are either part of the problem, or those who are part of the solution. So what I've seen from the way that the Warren campaign has rolled out all of these plans is that they're not really spending too much time on dead air and kind of making these big promises, but they're actually coming to the table and saying, not only do I support this idea, but here's how we're going to pay for it, and here's who it's going to impact, how it's going to positively impact them, and this is where we need to be to get started. And so I'm really not tripping off the fact that there hasn't been like a clear plan yet on that, because no one else has a clear plan on that yet that I've read that's tangible. And I think it's so early in the game that it's still an opportunity to not only hear from her, but other candidates as well.
Yeah, well, I'm going to push back a little bit because I read word for word Bernie's Medicare-For-All plan, and I know Elizabeth Warren is supportive of that, and it does get into the nitty-gritty of how it would be paid for. But are there other ways to achieve it, as long as you have the end goal of you get rid of these private insurers that are ripping American consumers off, screwing them over, and you have a system that covers everyone. It's not about access. We all have access, right? It's about ensuring that we're all covered.
Right. Yeah. And I know I've heard some of those talking points too, to be honest, but I also know that like Bernie, it's been like what, 40 years like in the Senate. So I feel like that there is, let's just be real about it. I love that, first of all, Warren has said that her and Bernie have been friends, that they support each other's ideologies and vision for the American people, despite media's attempt to try to pit, Bernie supporters and Warren supporters against one another. We see through that, and we're just like, how do we win together?
Right. Which I think is a smart strategy.
It is. Yeah. But the other piece is that I think that there's some double standard there again. Like we expect because Warren has already came out and she's proposed more plans than any other candidate, and they're bulletproof. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, but are we holding that same standard to other candidates who, even some of the ones who are proposing these things, like because sometimes it's like, okay, and $1 billion for this and 5, but when you actually go to do the math, the math doesn't add up. And so I think that that's what I would implore people to do, is not just read on the surface, but actually take the time to figure out if this is something that could work, and if so, if the candidate that you're choosing is going to be able to be accountable to that. Yeah,
and I definitely think everyone should go straight to the policy. Don't read the media's summary of it or their spin of it. And I'm not even saying a specific media organization, whatever. Go straight to the policy. Go straight to what they're proposing. Read it word for word, and be an advocate for yourself, and really understand what they're fighting for.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.